All right, so in this case, what we've done is we've created a transosseous equivalent repair in a double row type situation. We've had a retracted tear that's been repaired by 2 double loaded medial anchors, brought down to 2 lateral row anchors. And now what we're gonna do is augment this utilizing 2 portals. We'll use the lateral working portal with which we did our suture passage, and then we'll use our lateral acromial portal for the same position that we placed our anchors in through the lateral acromion. So we'll just do this in 2 portals this time as opposed to 1 portal technique. What I like to do is start with my soft tissue tack first. So I'll place my soft tissue tack into position. This will actually go and then wait for us while we put our implant into position. And I'll have you hold this, Kenby. So we're gonna just have that ready to go so we're not hindered by anything. Then we're gonna take our metal skid again. Our metal skid again is just to open and dilate the fenestration so that when we place our implant into position, it won't capture the soft tissue. What I typically like to do is place my lateral peak staple between my my anterior and posterior lateral row anchors. So we'll probably externally rotate a little bit here. Good, and we'll abduct just a little bit so we can get a nice 90-degree angle of insertion to our bone. And we're gonna try to place the implant right here. And you can see when you abduct the arm and you take tension off your repair, you see how the sutures come a little bit loose. That's gonna happen when you have a tension on a cuff. So what we're gonna do is then take our implant. We've folded our wheel back. Hold the camera for me. Yep. Again, our wheel has been bent back. That'll help insertion of the implant as we get into the subacromial space. I'm gonna have to place that graft over top of it to get it through the dam of the lateral soft cannula. Once we get it into the cannula, it's generally fine. We're then gonna find ourselves here, and then we're gonna remove that metal skid. Actually, we'll impact first, I'm sorry. I'm gonna come just a little bit closer to my footprint. All right, so we're gonna impact our implant first.
Ready to go?
Yep. And we'll bring that all the way down to our tuberosity. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. So we're gonna hold the camera for me here. See if you can hold it in that position, it'd be ideal. Then we're going to take out our metal skid. We'll pull back on our rubber dam just a little bit. And then with one push generally, we're gonna get that implant in. And now you can see here, we've got it fully deployed into the subacromial space. It's fixated laterally by our peak staple. It's held medially by our wheel. And I'm just gonna go basically between the two, at the end of the wheel usually, and go ahead and insert that. And I'm gonna capture that little bit of the edge of the graft there. Good. Now I'm fixated medially and laterally, so what I'm gonna do is take out the wheel, and I'm gonna remove the inserter handle.
Need the cannula back too, Adam.
For our insertion device. And now we're just gonna continue to work. We're secured medially, we're secured laterally. So what I'm gonna do in this case is I'm gonna work from medial to lateral, and I'm gonna try to get fixation beyond my double row repair. Go ahead. And I'm gonna work from anterior to posterior, medial to lateral. Good. In some instances of other implants, as you work from medial to lateral, your graft will continue to migrate medially. Go ahead. In this case, because we're already fixated laterally by our lateral peak staple, you're not gonna have that, go one more deep. You're not gonna have that, good. You're not gonna have that medial migration. And we're gonna simply continue as we go, working through this same lateral acromial portal that we placed our anchors through. Good. Again, taking tension off the deeper repair. Go ahead and internally rotate just a little bit. Good. A little bit more. Good. Good. And then as I get to my lateral most portion of the implant, I'll simply go through my lateral working portal, and I'll place 2 more anchors, PLGA tacks, to secure the implant to the lateral most portion of our footprint. Go ahead. Good. Good. And then externally rotate. And we're going to take this most anterior lateral edge, good. And we're going to stretch this as well. Good. And then you can see here, this may be a little bit proud, so what I'm gonna actually do is take that PLGA insertion handle back. And this is probably because the patient's bone was really hard when I removed my stapler. So I can simply just go back into this position and tap it down with our PLGA stapler inserter. Good. And that's great fixation. We've got full footprint coverage. I could have come a little bit further to the footprint edge here of the graft, but we typically see is a little bit of expansion of the graft in all planes and a halo type of a healing response around this. But you can see our crossed sutures right below it, covering that lateral footprint all the way down to the lateral bone.